Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tanya Azar and this is Early Career Academic, where I explore how I use the Passion Planner to achieve my personal and professional goals. I know it's been a minute. I know I was kind of on a video streak. I was doing my Vlogtober celebration, but y'all, it has been a crazy couple of weeks. So I know I'm filming this on Friday, on Sunday, the 24th of October, and typically I do these on Friday, and I've also skipped a couple weeks, and I have obviously skipped some of my other video postings as well, and that is because I've been sick as a dog for the last 2 weeks entirely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go over what I did this past week, sort of catch you up on some of that and what I had to basically drop to make my life less chaotic and less crazy, and then talk about the upcoming week. So last week, the week before last, so this is this past week and this is the week before. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel, I went to Florida for fall break to visit a friend and to watch her daughter so she could take her first post-baby, post-pandemic vacation. And that part went really well, except her daughter was sick and I caught whatever she had. So taking care of a sick 2-year-old while you yourself are sick is a test of will, let me just tell you, okay? But we weathered it pretty well. And actually, as you can see, I did get quite a few things done. As you can also see, there's some arrows pointing forward to shift some stuff off. I had anticipated being able to put her in her school every day during this time of fall break, so I would have a little more time to do things, but that's not what happened. So what happened was she was home a lot of the time, so I had to take advantage of her nap times to do the most basic things I needed to do, which basically for teachers most of the time is grading and feedback. I took an actual break on the fall break, but I did have some feedback I needed to get to my students, and that I accomplished in her nap time. As you can see, a lot of the days were basically amounting to, did I take a shower? Did I have lunch? Which those of you who are parents are not surprised, I'm sure. But overall, it was a pretty good week. Let's just say it was a little draining though, just because of the sickness. And then I came back home, and this is this past week. And as you can see, a lot of it is just canceled, sick day. What happened was my head cold, instead of tapering off over the weekend, which it typically does, blew up into sinusitis, so a sinus infection. So I had to go back to the doctors. I had to get more medicine. It took longer. You know, today, this is Sunday the 24th, is the first day that I felt actually like human, like I was able to sleep without any medication. It's just been a really tough week. On top of that, my husband had surgery on Tuesday. It was laparoscopic and outpatient, so not the biggest perhaps deal, but he was recovering. I was still sick. Then our water heater died. So, you know, if you're a homeowner, you know homes are never done with you. But we had to then get a water heater replacement on Friday. So this week was just insane. And, you know, honestly, kind of proud about doing the little that I did do. And I was also very honest with the people in my life, including my students, including my colleagues. Like, I have nothing for you this week. Here, talk to so-and-so, here, you know, here's a resource, here's a connection. Just sort of like letting them know that, like, while I want to help you do what you need to do, I'm unable right now to really be there for you. And so, you know, they were so good about it, you guys. They were so good. My students talked to each other. They did what they had to do. My colleagues were so generous and so kind and understanding, you know, that I was at this place and not able to contribute the way that I wanted to contribute. So I felt really good about overall the whole week, the way it went. Not in that I am on, like, I'm normally so, as you guys know if you've been watching this channel, I'm so ambitious and I like to check things off. But I'm proud of myself in that I was able to step back and, like, really take time to recover, to take care of my husband, to fix the water heater, like all of that stuff. And still I got some things done. As you can see, there's some stuff checked off, meetings I had and the goals I accomplished. As you can see, more of that happened at the end of the week as I started getting better. And as you can still hear, I'm still getting over it. I will say this week was, in terms of good things that happened, thin on the ground, but it ended by my students, who are so amazing, putting a care package together for me and dropping it off at my house. And I've never had students do that. I've never had this kind of relationship with them before, I think, because if you're in academia, a lot of the adjunct life is not being able to really form bonds with your students. But this semester has just been amazing in spite of everything, and they dropped off this care package, and if you want to see it, I did post it to Instagram, so follow me there if you want to see what they put in that care package. It just made my whole 2 weeks, it was like the best thing that happened, and really lifted me up. And so I feel just really incredibly privileged to have such amazing students and amazing colleagues to really hang in there with me through all of this. So that is what happened. I just wanted to catch you up. That is why I haven't been posting videos, and why in general all my content has been screeched to a halt. So let's talk about moving forward here from this past week. Now, a lot of this stuff is going to get shifted over. I owe my wonderful students some feedback on some work that they did that I'm going to do mostly on Monday, and that's because it's easier for me to kind of get in the space for that if I'm by myself, and my husband will be returning back to work on Monday. I have some miscellaneous items that I need to shift over, that it won't take that long, but I'm actually hoping to check all this stuff off next week, especially now that I'm back to normal. And I did get some personal things accomplished, because those are easier, right? Like mail Halloween cards, I can do that while I'm hacking up a lung and trying to feel better. And then I had, as I said, some meetings. I also presented at a conference yesterday, and that went really well. I only coughed a few times during my presentation. It wasn't as well attended as I was hoping, this late Saturday session, of course, but they're recorded. So the cool thing is that people will be able to go back and look at them if they want. I myself am going to take advantage of that, because these 2 days at the conference, I was still pretty out of it. I was still dealing with the water heater replacement. I mean, that's an all-day thing for those of you who've never had your water heater replaced. So, and I'm filming this video right now. And I also did edit and drop a new podcast. So I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video if you want to listen to my podcast. This is with a really good friend of mine, and we talk about living life abundantly, and especially in this case in academia, because she is a fellow academic. The rest of today, after I finish filming this video and posting it, is probably going to be a little bit of chores, catching up, kind of getting the house back together. But we might, if the weather lightens up a little, go out to an outdoor winery, because we're supposed to be in the peak fall foliage period in our area right now, although it seems like it isn't peak. I think we've had a lot of rain, so maybe the peak is pushed off, but I want to see those leaves before they all just kind of blow away when November arrives. So we might go and do one little fall thing. And to be honest, I have not been really enjoying fall the way I wanted to, the way I had hoped I would in my monthly setup, because I've been so sick for the last 2 weeks. So I'm trying to catch up a little, enjoy some Halloween movies. Last night, the other day we watched Hocus Pocus, and just kind of get into the mood a little bit before the season passes me by entirely. Okay, so next week I did go ahead and I pre-decorated, as I've been doing, to kind of keep these videos as short as possible. And I did also go ahead and I needed to fill out the to-dos, because I was feeling a little a little frantic about knowing what I had ahead of me this week, since I've been so out of it for the last 2 weeks. And so I did shift a lot of the stuff that I didn't get to here over to here, and I added in some personal stuff and some stuff for my content as well. Also, I used some really adorable stickers. This is stickers, these ghost pumpkin stickers are by Sarah Marie Stickers. I ordered those a little while ago. And then the little crow and skull and these little spell books and stuff come from Sugar Pop Fizz, and I did post an unboxing video on Instagram of those so you can see them in more detail. but they're just really cute. I kind of kept it a little bit minimal, you know, as my style is to prioritize some functional planning. Let me just bring my computer back up because I need to see what meetings have been added. So sometimes students add, they use my scheduling service to add meetings, and I'm going to go ahead and jot in what the rest of this week is going to look like. I also have a couple of pen options that kind of go with some of these pink pumpkins. This is the Passion Planner pink marker. I've got 2 Tombow dual brush pens. This one is the 817, and then this is just the black. And then this one is a Mildliner, and it is the red color. That's what they call it, but it really is more pink than red, so whatever they say. Okay. So let me go ahead and jot some things down. I do have some meetings scheduled this week, and I am very excited to return to campus as well. I got contacted by the communications department of the university, and they are going to do a segment on the project that my students worked on. For the digital divide. This is the campaign that they did the other week, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to talk with them, and then they're going to interview some of my students. And I, of course, am going to be returning to campus. I did have to get a PCR test done last week just in case, even though my doctor was pretty sure it wasn't COVID breakthrough, and it was completely negative. So that's good, but that means that I couldn't be on campus even if I was feeling well and up to it, which I wasn't. But you know, that's that. And now I have all of Wednesday open, which I love because I'm gonna need that to catch up on some work. I need to also remind myself for my honors class, I need to get going on I need to line up the guests for our pitch day. That's like the last big effort that I need to make for this class in terms of prep, and I need to get that lined out, and that won't take too long, but it does take a little concentration. And then I typically have a call with a friend here. Sometimes we cancel it just depending on schedules. And then Friday, my brother-in-law is having a Halloween party. And I myself am having a Halloween brunch on Halloween, and then we'll probably hand out candy. Typically what my husband and I do, if it's not like, if Halloween isn't on a Saturday and there's typically a party, we stay home, we like make chili, we turn on like a Halloween movie, and then we hand out candy to like the 3 people that come to our house. For some reason, even though I live like in a multifamily area, like a multifamily community, there's just not a lot of trick-or-treaters. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in California where everyone goes all out for Halloween. They decorate their houses like on steroids for Halloween, and I love it. I loved being in that, like growing up in that area. Where I am in the Mid-Atlantic now, it just is really haphazard. Like some streets will go all out, but then some will just be like dark, and there'll be like one house, like mine, like on my block is pretty much dark, and then like one house. And I'm like, really? You can't just like flip a light on, light a candle and a pumpkin and have some candy? I mean, like, no wonder kids don't come around because I'm like the only one that's doing anything. So it can be a little frustrating. If we ever like get the opportunity to sell this place and find somewhere else, we might keep an eye out for neighborhoods that have like a lot of fun. And then I think what I'm going to do is just like mark off and like copying a little bit from one of my favorite Instagram accounts, and that is Of Paper and Clouds. I actually just placed a sticker order with her. So I'm actually like really excited to see that come in the mail, get a little happy mail. I might go ahead and make those a different color, but my meetings I'll make in these color. And then we have the parties. I might mix that up a little bit, just kind of like have a little more fun with the color. I'm gonna go ahead and block these out because these are just like, I have to be in class and paying attention and can't really get anything done in those times except have awesome conversations with my students. And we do have a lot to talk about this week because I did push some stuff off when I was sick. So I'm actually really excited to see them. And then we have a Halloween party. And maybe what I'll do is kind of like a fun little spider web kind of thing. Oh my gosh. So what are you watching that is and isn't Halloween related? I'd love to know in the comments because my husband now has me into Doctor Who. I was a reluctant joiner, but now that the doctor is a woman, or she was in the season that we are watching, I am more interested. Shocker. And so we are watching it, and I am finding it very delightful. And I just reminded myself because I watched the Arachnid episode and there were spider webs everywhere. So I appreciated that. It's kind of cute, right? Like a little bit of that. Oh, and then I have the trick-or-treaters. And I'm going to come back in here with this and maybe just do like a little jack-o'-lantern situation. Well, not a jack-o'-lantern, but a pumpkin. So this is pretty cute, right? I am going to go ahead and fill out the boxes that have items with color because they do help me see what needs to be checked off. And I can always add, if I have to like add stuff in here, I can add more color. The other thing that is taking up time at the present is my husband and I are considering adopting a child. For those of you who have been watching my channel, you know that we suffered a miscarriage this past summer after many years of struggling to conceive in the first place. And we decided that we want to potentially pursue an adoption. So that is why this paperwork item is on the personal. And we did receive the application instructions. It is a lot of work. So we are gearing up for that. And I would appreciate your good thoughts on that. Please feel free to leave a comment if you yourself have been through that, or if you just have any words of encouragement. It is going to be kind of a long haul. It's it's challenging, it's expensive, it takes a lot of time, and but at the end of the day, we want to be parents, and this is the way we see forward potentially to do that. So I would appreciate your good thoughts on that. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this pumpkin because I think it needs a little more color on this side of the page. Walk around my little sticker here. I'd also love to know what you guys want to be for Halloween this year if you're dressing up. I'm a huge fan of dressing up for Halloween typically. I would tell you what I'm going to be, except my husband is nearby and listening, and I want to make it a surprise for him, which is not how we normally do things, because normally we are doing like kind of a couple costume, or at least a costume that relates to each other. But this year I decided to mix it up, and I'm making it a surprise for him. So let me know in the comments. And of course, I will post a picture to Instagram once I have a good one to share. Okay, so that's it for setting up next week. Stay tuned to this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I am going to post an October reflection video, a November setup video, and I'm going to possibly post a video that describes how I plan a party, since I'm planning this brunch anyway, and maybe you guys might find it interesting to see how I go about that process. And of course, coming up in November is Academic Writing Month, or, you know, if you're not an academic, it's NaNoWriMo, that's the National Novel Writing Month. I am planning on participating in an academic sense, and I want to describe how I'm going to do that in the coming videos. I just haven't determined yet exactly what that's going to look like. So stay tuned if you're interested. If you're participating in NaNoWriMo or Acrimo, please leave a comment. And again, like and subscribe if you like this content. Thank you for being patient with me while I recovered my health. And happy Halloween. See you soon.